What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's Power Sports Steve. Again, we are at Extreme Power Sports in Opelika, Alabama. Today we're talking about the new 2024 Can-Am Defender HD10 Crew Cab Lone Star Edition. I let the cat out of the bag just a couple days ago. We are now your local BRP dealer. We sell Can-Am products, Sea-Doo products, of course your Spyders, your Rikers, and all that kind of fun stuff. Oh, did I mention Sea-Doos? Yes, we have Sea-Doos in stock as well. But we're not talking about that today. We're talking about this guy. I mean, first off, look at this machine. It is absolutely beautiful. This is the top of the line Defender. Of course, you do have, your fully enclosed, limited edition and all that. But as far as your standard kind of open cab Defender, this is the top of the line. Similar to what Polaris does with their Texas edition. This is the Lone Star Edition. I mean, look at this thing. Comes in a beautiful black. I don't know if you can see the paint on that in the sun. Look at that paint. It's beautiful. It is painted. It's not molded plastic. It is paint. So we'll do a little walk around. Maybe we'll get in and take it for a little spin and talk about a few things we like, dislike, all that kind of good stuff. Once again, if you're new to the channel, I would love it if you give me a thumbs up. I would love it if you would hit that little subscribe button. We're going to be doing videos on everything. I know it's been a few months since I did a whole lot of videos. We were just kind of getting the channel up and going last year. But today we're back at it. We've had a lot of stuff going on. So subscribe and come along. So real quick, again, I mentioned the paint. Look at this front bumper, heavy duty bumper on it, 4,500 pound winch. Kind of interesting that on their top of the line model, they still put the steel cable and don't put the synthetic rope like you, hate to say it, find on the Polaris. But that's okay. I do like that they got the arched A-arms on here, okay? So your Ranger, unless you were talking about a high lifter or something like that, or the old backcountry edition, it's not gonna have the arched A-arms like that. Speaking of A-arms, I just gotta point out something real quick. It's okay, it's not a big deal, but I kind of like having the grease fittings and I don't like it because if you're not a person that stays on, that's not focused, I'm sorry. You've got grease fittings, see them right there? If you stay up on the maintenance, the grease fittings are nice because you keep everything greased. If you don't, then, not good. You start getting squeaks and all kind of other stuff. Polaris has since eliminated a lot of their grease fittings on the Rangers. Went to a more fully enclosed bearing and all that kind of good stuff. So a little bit of difference there, not a big deal, but just something to keep in mind. I do love that it has 30-inch tall tires on it. Love the tread pattern. Super, super nice tires and wheels on this machine. Oh, one thing, I don't know if you can see it in the camera, it's kind of hard. But if you look on the bottom here, almost like a, I forget what you call that, not a crash bar because it doesn't come out, but it's just extra skid plate really. But it's a heavy duty, and I want you to see this. Heavy duty, it's got a textured finish on it, but there's just extra protection. This is the part of the vehicle that takes a beating. Now let me tell you, on my side-by-side, I actually have a little crack in my plastic right there, because I just hit something on the other day in the house and I'm not happy about it, but it is what it is. I'd love to have this on mine. I do not, but when it comes time to get a new machine, I'm probably gonna get a new Defender, not gonna lie. Something cool I noticed just a minute ago, I hadn't noticed before. Look at this little metal piece right here. I think it's metal anyway. I think, now one thing I can think of this being here for is to be able to step on, kind of like you find a step on a pickup truck, right? So you take your foot, step on that, and look at that. I can get up here and look around on top of the cab. Pretty cool, because guys, this machine, or girls, I'm sorry, this machine is tall. I'm 6'3", and to give you an idea, I'm gonna have you in my field of view. I'm looking through here. That's about right there. Look how much higher that is than me. It's a tall machine. Again, going around the back, we'll talk about the bed here in a minute. Bed does look good. It's got the one latch on it on the back, which I like. 250 pound rating on the tailgate itself. You do have the, it's kind of weird. They have the tape measure lines on the bed, but there's no numbers. So I guess you just call it what you want or mark it. If you're trying to say you caught a big fish, I guess you could put, this is 2 feet here, 3 feet here. I don't know. Put whatever you want on there, I guess. But just so you know, so if you look at the little warning thing here, of course, it's got some ratings on here for 3 people. This thing will fit actually 6 people in it, just so you know. It's got some max capacities on here, depending on how many people you have in the vehicle. And it talks about the XMR edition, which is the kind of the Mud edition, the Limited, the Lone Star, and of course all other models. So depending on the Defender that you go with, take a look at this and try not to go over your capacities. We all know that people love to do so, but you know, what are you gonna do? Roughly, bed's rated at 1,000 pounds, 2,500 pounds on your towing capacity. Does have your 2-inch receiver on the back, which is nice. Again, look at those arched arms kind of on the back. Love that. Really love it. Hey, Adam. Say, hey, Adam, you're going to be in the video. Adam's got his dirt scooter in the back. I don't know where he's going. I guess he's going riding. The rest of us have to work for a living. That's okay. Let's lift up the bed real quick. You got a latch on each side, which is cool. So the passenger or the driver can lift up the bed, which is cool. Take a little look in here. Of course, you got your CVT belt system on this side. There's a drain on the bottom if you get any water and debris. Y'all know all that. I know. If you don't, watch, there's plenty of videos talking about belts and mud and water and all that stuff. So I'm not going to get into that. Pretty nice. Got a little pre-filter deal here. I like that. As opposed to, I like that a lot, kind of as opposed to being on the side. Let's see. All right, so I want to get into something. You can see how open this is, right? There's really no storage under the seats, except way over there on that passenger side. We'll go look at that in just a second. But look in the back. So no storage under the seats here, which is kind of peculiar. You do have access to your battery right there in the middle. It's got a little Zeus fitting, looks like, I call it. The seats do lift up, which is nice. So if you did want to put something big and bulky, you could lay it across the back, which is cool. But there's just no enclosed, no place to put like a tow strap or hunting gear. You know, I don't know. It's kind of peculiar to me a little bit on the back, especially. The front I kind of understand. Polaris did the same thing kind of on the front. They don't have the box, but you know, kind of open area on the bottom. If you look at like a new Ranger XP. So on the passenger side here in the front, you lift up the seat. It's got this little, I'm gonna call it a tackle box, cooler, whatever you want to refer to it as. But you just grab it, lift it up. That's it. So it just kind of sits in there. Of course, you can, you know, put other stuff in there if you take it out of the way. You don't want the box. Put it back in like so, and you can open it. Yeah, it does have pretty nice storage. Not bad. Just lock it back down. So that's that. As far as storage on the others, or on the dash, I should say, it's also got a similar box. So you can just lift this up, which is cool, and take it with you, and just leaves a kind of an empty glove box. Or we can put that back in there. I'm not gonna mess with that, but you can lift it up. It's got storage in it as well. There's little cutouts on the lower part of the dash. You can just kind of set some gloves or whatever you want to put in there, and that's kind of all the way across. There is a little cubby. And I'm gonna do it on the far side, but there's a little cubby right here. You can put some little knickknacks in there. And on the top here, you can pop this open. A little bit of storage in there as well. And of course, just empty here, or no box, but just kind of empty storage right here. Cup holders, of course. And that's all the storage you get. So not on this machine. I'm kind of surprised that there's not more storage. I think that's something that a lot of people would like, personally. I could be wrong, but I really think so. If you look at the floorboard, which is nice, Can-Am adds these little markings, kind of almost diamond shaped. So if this was to get wet, it's going to keep you from slipping around as much, which is cool. One thing that I'm not seeing, and I should have been a little more prepared, I wasn't even thinking about it, honestly, when it comes to washing this thing out, but most of your Polarises, and I hate to compare Polaris, but even on a CF Moto, I have a CF Moto, y'all know that, there's not a little drain on the floorboard, so interesting. Let me tell you one thing I do love about this machine. A lot of people are like, hey man, where's the parking brake, right? A lot of machines have gotten away from the parking brake. They just use like a park in the transmission, but this machine actually has a park brake. So it's got this little lever, and I don't know if you can see this, but you have to push down on the foot pedal, pull this up. Nope, I didn't push hard enough, I'm sorry. There you go. It locks in place. So That's all you gotta do. Ready? There you go. And when you want to release it, you just push on the pedal. That's it. All right. It does have a tilt for the steering wheel, of course, which is cool. Lights, pretty self-explanatory. Off, low beam, high beam, winch controller. Let me get inside here. Oh, I didn't show you. In this top glove box that's over the dash here, right inside, there's a little USB port right there. Pretty cool. Kind of hard to find, kind of out of the way, but I don't know why they don't put it down here. A lot of vehicles are putting USB side by side on the 12 volt, but that's okay. Standard 12 volt outlet right there, no big deal. Transmission, you got low range, high range, neutral, reverse, and again, that park position. I'm gonna put this back up in here. I just kind of killed it in park for some reason. But before we start it up, you've got your diff lock for your back, 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive. And if you want to lock the diff, you just push it. And we'll show you that here in just a second. This is all your controls for your readouts on your dash, your drive mode, your trip mode, all that kind of stuff. So let's turn it on real quick. Turn the power on. Nice looking dash. Ignore that I'm low on fuel. So, you've got your engine temperature, your clock, 4-wheel drive indicator, speedometer, tachometer, of course multiple places, mileage, all that kind of stuff. You're going to hit the trip button there, over here, and you can see right here it went to trip A. Hit it again, it goes to trip B, back to your hours on the vehicle, and then back to your odometer, right? Of course, fuel gauge over here, and I'm out of fuel, so we won't talk about that. Let's see, drive mode, select button. So, got a drive mode button right here. We can click that. Look, got work mode, eco mode, and then eco off. So, here's kind of your standard. And now pay attention. I'm going to turn the rear diff. Let's get it running. Start it up. This thing's so smooth and quiet. Love the way these machines are. Can-Am, man, if y'all have not ridden some of the Can-Am ATVs side-by-sides, you have got to get on them. If you're looking for a new ATV side-by-side, you're doing yourself an injustice by not riding these vehicles. They are that smooth. I mean, just incredible. So anyway, like I said, rear diff lock. If you look at the 4-wheel drive indicator, you flip it, and you're going to see the pumpkin on the back gets colored in. You know that the diff's locked. 4-wheel drive button, flip, boom. Tires are locked into the auto mode there. Hit it again, you hear it click in, you got a pumpkin shaded in there. Looks like a little lock. Those are locks actually, no, look closer. Then you know that your diff is locked. So maximum traction all the time. Back to 2-wheel drive, put it back in turf mode. So I didn't mention that, but diff lock means both wheels pull on the back, right? This has a turf mode. Y'all have heard me talk about turf mode on Polaris. Turf mode means you're going to unlock the diff on the back. If you're going to use this vehicle around the house, gardening, picking up sticks, whatever, and you're not necessarily way out in the woods, but you're not going to rip up the grass, you're not going to make the wife mad, she's not going to be yelling at you to plant more grass and all that kind of fun stuff. So just FYI and heads up on that. All right, folks, we're just going to ride this around just a little bit here. Let's see, let's make sure what drive mode we're in. We're in work mode, and I didn't explain it, but work mode, you know, just kind of a decreased aggressiveness, we're going to call it. A little more tame, you know, a little more just not herky-jerky, maybe we'll call it, for, you know, if you got a bed load full of stuff, you know, you're pulling something, whatever, you're going to be in work mode, all right? We'll take eco off. We're just going to kind of be in your standard mode, and we're just going to take it for a drive. We're in high range. I mean, just listen. I mean, you probably can't pick that up on the microphone, but this thing is just so smooth. Turning radius is phenomenal. I don't know if you can tell that or not in the video, but here we are. We'll do a 360. No, it won't, because I don't want to get in the mud. I don't want to get this thing all dirty. We're going to drive up through here. Let's check out low range real quick. So drop it into low, and you can instantly tell the gearing is significantly lower. And I didn't mention, folks, I assume you all know this is 1000cc vehicle, their HD10 model, and this thing has 82 horsepower. Right in line with pretty much all the other utility vehicles, at least your mainstream, your Ranger XP, CF Moto, Honda, a little under that maybe, but right in line with most of them. But so let's put this thing back in high, and we'll just take a little cruise down the road real quick. Get a little idea maybe for a little acceleration if we can. Hopefully there's no traffic. I mean, right there is 50 mile an hour. I mean, that thing, and that's kind of, you can't tell here, but that's actually uphill, going downhill kind of the other way we're going here. All right, folks. What a really nice machine. If you're in the market again for a crew cab side-by-side, and you're wanting kind of top of the line, folks, you really need to do yourself a favor. Come check out the Can-Am, take it for a drive. We'll let you drive the other models too. That's no big deal. I'm not really necessarily trying to sell you a Can-Am. I'm just trying to give you a little rundown on them, see what I like, don't like, and kind of go from there. So again, if you could give me a thumbs up on the video, folks, I would really appreciate it. If you could subscribe, man, that would be awesome. Help us grow. And keep watching. We're going to be doing some fun stuff too. We've got some demo events coming. We got some rides coming up. We got some racing coming up. If you like racing, we're going to be going to some hair scramble racing here in Alabama, actually Georgia, maybe a little Mississippi action as well. So we'll be posting some videos from all that stuff. So give us a like, give us a follow. Appreciate y'all watching. Take care.